I'm with Dr. Muffi, a leading bariatric surgeon, and today I would love to hear from him some tips on digestive health. I'm Namita Jain, a wellness author and a wellness professional. Thank you, Dr. Muffi, for your time. Doctor, a lot of people with hypothyroid have a sluggish metabolism, sluggish digestive system, and that probably could cause obesity. So what do you advise for people like them?
Hello Namita, it's great to see you.
Thank you, doctor.
Well, hypothyroid or the thyroid gland has been blamed for most evils, right?
Okay.
Especially for obesity, because everybody loves to say, oh, I've got a thyroid problem and that's why I put on weight.
Okay.
Well, it is not incorrect to say that hypothyroid, when the thyroid levels are low, can make you put on weight, as well as hyperthyroid, and they're high, can actually make you lose weight.
Right.
So what happens with hypothyroid is that you kind of develop a little bit of water retention.
Okay.
So when you put on this 5 or 6 kilos, because of water retention, and you see the puffiness and everything coming in, then you can blame it on the thyroid state.
Okay.
Also, we need to remember is those people who are really massively obese.
Yes.
Their thyroid state will never get all right. In fact, it will get much worse because of their obesity. So they should not actually consider thyroid as the cause for the obesity. Rather, vice versa, they should actually tackle their obesity and the thyroid status will get better, right? The other thing that we need to also understand is that, yes, it does cause a little bit of slowing down of metabolic rate, but the best and fastest way, if you do have a thyroid problem, and most hypothyroid individuals will know that it's a lifelong problem. You will have to be on some low dose medication for the rest of your life. So please eat healthy, eat local, eat fresh, don't over fry your food. And most importantly, put in at least half an hour of exercise at least 4 times a week. Your metabolic rate will get itself sorted. Mentally, if you do practice yoga, and Namita, you are the expert, I don't need to tell you this, but if you practice yoga and mental healing exercises, get time to yourself to just inner healing of yourself, your gut will sort itself out. Yeah.
Doctor, intermittent fasting is gaining immense popularity. And they say, and as I don't know, is that post a bariatric surgery, you're supposed to have small, frequent meals. So can intermittent fasting work for a person who's who's undergone a bariatric surgery?
So let me start with what intermittent fasting is. Intermittent fasting is shocking your system and depriving it of food for prolonged periods of time.
Right.
So you can start with 8 hours, 12 hours. Invariably, most people start with 12 hours, and then they go on to 16 hours and 18 hours when it's really stringent. It works when you're shocking your system. So if you do it for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, it will work. If you want to continue intermittent fasting beyond 6 weeks, you will suddenly seem to realize that the results are not as good as what happened in the first 6 weeks. The first 4 weeks invariably is water loss. That's where you lose the weight. With any diet, a keto diet for example, it always does work in the first time. Another thing that most people must remember is that if intermittent fasting were to have worked on you once, if you've gone on and put on all the weight back and started to try and do it again after 3 or 4 years, you'll suddenly realize the results are not the same as with any other exercise. Your body's used to it. For those people who regain weight post bariatric surgery, after the first year and a half, I think it's safe enough to practice, but not in the first year. Definitely don't practice in the first year.
So we would love to know, what is your wellness mojo? What do you do for fitness and diet? I mean, you're a super fit doctor as I'm seeing you now.
The thing is always a challenge, right? The moment my belt gets one hole tighter, I start trying to do things. As you know, as any busy individual, it's really difficult and a struggle. Once you put on that 5 kilos to try and knock it back up, it's a real struggle. So keep changing your diet. What I do is I try and avoid any form of sugar. That's my one thing. Since the age of 35, I've stopped all forms of sugar. Most of us don't even realize in those cups of tea or cups of coffee, the amount of sugar we take in. Try and avoid, if you're someone who's got a sweet tooth, take 1 spoon and run away from the dessert table, because you will do yourself a world of good, because knocking that one dessert out of your system is going to take a very, very long time. Put in that exercise. Even if you can't get time to go out and do it, I would recommend do it in the office. Do some free hand workouts, do some stretches, do something. But most importantly, what I do, Namita, is I drink a lot of water. Coconut water, or I have hot water with mint leaves, lemon, and a little bit of honey. Yeah, honey, jaggery are decent sugars to take if you take it in small quantities, because they're complex sugars. They take a long time to break down. Any simple sugar is difficult, right? The other thing I would do is also recommend that don't take too much of coffee or too much of tea. If you want to have green tea, that's healthy, please have it. But anything else, try and avoid. Try and avoid heavy meals at night. That is the one thing that as Indians we do. We seem to have our heaviest meal at night because that's how culturally and socially we are brought up. Your heaviest meal should be your breakfast, actually. So eat your breakfast like a king, eat your lunch like a noble, and eat your dinner like a pauper. If you maintain this mantra of life, trust me, you'll do very well. Yeah, and eat at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep.
Thank you, doctor. Any last sign of message you'd like to give to the viewers to stay happy? Healthy, yes, we've got it from you now.
I think once you're healthy, you'll be happy.
Perfect.
Yeah, mental and physical health.
Perfect. Thank you so much,
Thank
doctor.
you. Great seeing you.
Such a pleasure talking to you.
Bye-bye. See you. Bye.